Righty guys, welcome to today's video. My name's Ruben and today we're going to go through how I passed the $1 MyFunded Futures account, the types of trades that I took, the risk management. I'm sure you guys are looking forward to this. I've been meaning to do this for a while now. Just post an account, how I actually pass that account, how I get a payout with that account, and I'll actually show you the progress currently with that account as it stands. With that being said guys, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Now the first thing is this account was actually purchased through a giveaway. So MyFunded Futures about a week ago, they had a giveaway where you could enter a challenge and you pay $1 if you get the account, and that's what happened for me. A lot of people in my Discord actually got that account for $1 and they've been trading on that. Now the good news is you can probably see the ticker down the bottom scrolling. If you failed your recent challenge or you failed any challenge recently, you can actually reset challenges for the next couple of days for 25% off using my code FET. But with that being said guys, let's actually hop into the dashboard. You can see this account is passed. It's been passed for a few days now. These are the trades that I took. And for whatever reason, it's actually not showing the last 2 days of the challenge. So on the screen here to the right, you're gonna see a little screenshot of the actual statistics in terms of the winners, the losers, but also like the day by day, how that kind of looks, you know? So a lot of people are curious. That's where we're looking at. So day one trade, day two, one trade, day three, two trades. This day here, I made 486 and that was my mistake. So on this particular day, I was up a little bit, about 100, 150, and then back down into drawdown, then back to break even, and then eventually made myself back up in a profit. And I was kind of happy with this challenge to risk a certain amount, which was 3 contracts per trade, 3 minis, every single trade. And I wanted to make at least $400 per day. So overall, with the statistics, pretty happy with that. This day here, I kept it under control. And these last 2 days, you can see how that worked out with a screenshot on the screen here. But again, the last day was quite big. I took advantage of the opportunity, I held the trade, and then I passed the account. That's pretty much it. Now, on the screen here, you're gonna see the actual last trade that I took, and I'm sure many of you guys have been in the same position where you're very close to passing, but you manually execute, or you manually exit the trade, I should say, and for whatever reason, because of commission, spread, you don't get filled exactly where you wanna get filled. And that's what happened to me. So unfortunately, I need about $10 left, and that's why you can see the 2 execution arrows there. 2 execution arrows, and the reason for that is because I took one trade, went out of the trade, I hadn't really passed it yet, so I took another trade, I still thought price was gonna go higher, just with 1 mini, and then closed it as soon as I was over that threshold. So that's the type of trade that I take, right? So the type of trades that I take are what you see there. I know you're probably sitting here saying, well, how do you trade, Ruben? What's your style? What's your strategy? Well, mainly it's ICT macros combined with inversion fair value gap. So just to break down this trade, this is a really good one to look over. A lot of these trades were taken during the Asian session because I trade both the Asian and also the London session. And again, what led me to take this trade? Well, let's zoom out a little bit just so you guys can see the time frame and have a look down the bottom here. So there's a macro between 950 and 1010. You can see here we form that inverse fair value gap. We do that with impulse. I enter there, I take my profit there. And again, like I said, entered one more time, took my profit, and that was that. Another big thing that I look for, guys, is low resistance liquidity, which I'll mark out here. And that's something that if you're watching this video for the first time or you're new to my channel, I would study how price behaves in macros because often it reverses, but also study the fact that low resistance liquidity gets traded to very, very quickly, which is what you can see here. So again, looking at the market structure, looking at the inversion, looking at the macro, looking at the low resistance, everything was 3 contracts. And I guess the cherry on top here was that we actually come down, we sweep this low. So we sweep sell side and then we react. So if you can, wait for a liquidity sweep. And then once you've got that sweep during a macro, look for an inverse, look for impulse, and then trade towards low resistance. Most of my trades were exactly like this, most in the Asian session and some in the London session and other sessions as well. Now I have started to trade on this funded account and I'm gonna keep you guys updated with that. But here's a trade that I took yesterday, or 2 trades. The first was a very small stop out. I had the right narrative, but I just trailed my stop and I got stopped out. So I had to re-enter the trade again. What you can see here, we come up, we sweep liquidity. And this trade, go back to yesterday's London session, the market was so choppy, so I was waiting for this to happen. Once price started to develop, once we had these clear draws, I wanted to take that chance. I wanted to take that trade. So I ended up doing that on this account here. And you can see 2 entries there. The second comes from this change in the state. Entry here, stop above, and my TP was actually on this candle. So I kept trailing my stop loss, and that actually yielded me quite a bit of money, right? It was about $290 profit for the day, even with a loss, and then take into account that win. So that there is the first trade that I took on the funded account. And you can see I'm following a very similar process. This also occurred during the macro. Now, back to the dashboard here, let's go back to the actual funded account stats. So you can see when I passed the account that I wasn't using a massive high win rate. If you look at this, right, the win rate here was about 63%. The average win was about 500, the average loss was a little bit less. best trade, worst trade, number of trades, and the profit factor was over 2, which all these stats are profitable. Now notice that the win rate, it's not 80%, it's not 90%. The risk reward, yes, is more than a 1-to-1, but this comes from risking about the same every trade, 3 contracts. I didn't cut the trade short if I didn't have to. If price looked like it was going to reverse and I was up about $700, $800, then I did trail my stop loss. So at least I secured something. And that's the big thing. A lot of people can't accept a smaller winning day. On this day here where I made $395, I wanted to make more. On this day where I made 406, on this day where I made 650, on this day I made 486. Yes, I wanted to make more, but I had to decide when was enough. And that's a really big thing for trading when you're trying to pass evals, when you're trying to pass funded accounts, or even trade funded accounts for that matter. And we'll get onto the funded account in just a second now. Too many people, right, are concerned with making big amounts of money. And if the market wants to give it to you, then let it give it to you. Hold the runners. But if the market looks dodgy, if it's violating what you don't want to see violated, then why are you still in the trade? At least pay yourself. So yesterday, 4 trades, 2 losers, 2 winners. The one I just showed you was the last of the trades. Before that, there was 1 loser and 1 winner, and that was at about a break-even stage. So again, I try to take between 1 to 7 trades a day maximum, and it really just depends on how much am I risking per trade or how much am I risking per setup. And also, am I break even or am I taking a full stop out? That makes a massive difference, guys. So say back to this example here, when I took that loss, the first loss, right, this one here, that was not a full stop out. That was not $200. That was not $150. It was smaller than that. And for me, that allows me to take another trade. It's all about a balance of risk on versus risk off. And this is what I teach to my community, the premium community. If you're from there, it's risk on versus risk off, and taking advantage of opportunities in the market when they come to you. So it's all about risk management. I posted this on the community page, both on Twitter. If you haven't checked me out there on X, it's Full View Trading, but also for my premium community, just a 10 handle trade. Really easy, really nice. We had a nice 15-minute FVG that we were delivering from up here, right? We had a nice 1, 2, 3 drives pattern, shorted that trade from this inverse gap, and I'll just mark this out. So we had a nice little inversion gap right here. Took a short from this candle, took my TP down here, and that's it. It was quite easy, it was quite simple, and that made me today $200. So far, good start. Obviously not every day is gonna be a winning day, but I wanted to showcase to you guys, it is possible. It is possible to have green days 5 in a row. It is possible to come back from losses. It is possible to take 7 trades in a day, but manage risk effectively. It is possible to have a one and done. It is possible to have a win rate of about 60 to 70%, even less, and still make money in the markets. It's all about risk management, being critical and thinking critically, and applying things that you know have an edge in the market. And the only way you're gonna get to that point is by collecting data and spending time in the market, letting things, play out, letting things develop. So I hope you guys got something from this video. If you haven't yet, join my free Discord. The link to that is in the description below. And keep in mind, if you failed a challenge recently, 25% off, code FVT. Check out the link in the description as well. That will support me and support the channel. And that's where I'll leave it. So anything is possible, guys. Keep pushing, keep grinding. You have this. Put in the work, keep consistent, and you will see results. Talk soon, guys. Peace.